Hey folks, Tiger here. So today we're going to review the D'Havilland Type 98 Mosquito by Dave Garwood from Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Now the Mosquito is your classic twin-engined warbird. This variant, the B Mark IV, is a bomber, or light bomber, or reconnaissance, powered by two Merlin 21 or 23 engines. Now the external model, as we're seeing here, is an absolute joy to look at. It's got the shrouded exhausts, typical of night operations, and I really cannot fault the externals. So let's fire up those Merlins. There's one. And two. What a lovely noise it is. Now this sound set is just the default one supplied. I probably will be finding another one, but that's my own taste. So let's get into takeoff. Now the first thing I will say here is, having not flown an actual Mosquito, I cannot accurately comment on the flight dynamics. But in saying that, the Mosquito is known to be a docile aircraft. Now, you'll see here as we build up speed, if you wanted to go left, I've just corrected. And I'm just going to flick the yoke forwards to unstick that tail wheel, and then very gently pull back on the stick, and she floats off the runway. Beautiful aircraft. Carefree handling, which is what you'd expect from the Mosquito, and what you'd expect after reading crew reports about the aircraft. So, we're just going to climb out here, the internal. Oh, it's beautifully done, we'll get onto that later, but let's have another look at that outside and see what animations we got. So here, I'm just opening the bay doors, and you can see we've got 4 250 or 500 pound bombs, I cannot decide which. I'm going to hit the landing lights, and there they go, they fold down and illuminate. So again, fantastic. Very nicely done external model. All the things that should be animated are things like your tail wheel, your flaps, your ailerons, your elevators, and your rudder, all animated. So everything's as it should be externally. As you can see here, just demonstrating this carefree handling. I've just put it into a turn, and I'm not even pulling back on the stick. I'm letting it drop its altitude naturally, and you can see she is carefree. Very nicely done by the developers, or by the developer Dave Garwood and his team. Did a sterling job with this one. So let's move on to this phase. Nice little flyby here, and I'm going to demonstrate that roll rate, which I think is about right for a Mosquito. I'm not going to push it fully onto the roll rate, but I'm just going to give it a little turn to the left to pull off at a 45 to display line. There we go. Now coming back in here, we've got a landing ahead. Now one thing with the Mosquito I've read from crew reports is her ability to undershoot the runway. That is coming in too low before the runway. Now this happens in the Mosquito when you deploy the flaps and the gear. There is such high drag on this sleek airframe that it will drop. So you'll see it here, you'll hear my engines pick up after I've set the flaps. I've got the gear down already. I didn't plan on using flaps for this landing, but after looking at my speed I decided to go ahead and drop them. Again, flight dynamics seem to be as I would expect for a Mosquito. So coming in, you'll hear my engine pick up. There we go, just a slight little increase there. And yeah, you can see her trying to undershoot, so I have to correct with a bit of nose up attitude and a bit of throttle. There we go. That's a known Mosquito trait, the undershoot. So just be on the lookout for that. So here we are back on the inside. We're just going to open the crew entrance and put the load down. There we go. Now, in the interior, the bomb aimer's position is modelled. Bomb sight isn't functional, but it is there. All the little details, you can see me mousing over there, are wonderfully done. Even down to your bolt heads and things like that. So again, the internal model I really cannot fault. It's a great virtual cockpit. So what can I say about the Mosquito? Well, she looks right. She seems to fly right. Internal model is very nice as well. Really, I cannot fault Dave Garwood and his team on this Mosquito. So it's an outstanding job. If I had to give it a mark out of 10, I'd give it a 9.5. There are a few things I'd change. Things like the sound and some of the textured detail, but I mean, I'm just nitpicking. So, the D'Havilland Type 98 Mosquito. Britain's wooden wonder and a wonder for your flight simulator. If you have been, folks, take it easy. Thank you for watching.